And now just 1 minute away from the start of race number 2. We're scheduled for 3. Hannah, this is a great opportunity for someone to reach up, and especially if you're in the top 3 of the last race, to reach up and take control of this thing.
Yeah, that's right, but I think there's no room for error here. With just 2 more races to decide the competitors for the final, you have to be trying to get to the front of the fleet in every one of these races. And this lineup here is going to be a big factor in that.
As you can see in the distance, Spain, Los Gallos, their boat's still not working, having hydraulic issues. Stevie, that's going to pretty much do them in, even if they get into race number 3.
Yeah, I mean, they won't be able to make the final, will they, Todd? So big shame for them. But we look now at the start line here, and it's tight. We saw how important that start was. Left-hand side of the screen, the French, they're way out the back. Are they going to be able to find a way through from there? I don't see it myself. Canfield, he's way out the back as well, looking to find a gap down the line. North Star Canada well positioned. The Bond's Flying Rouge, they put it down in the water, slow the boat up, but they're well positioned at the moment. USA are going to come through fast at the bottom of the line. Beautiful timing by Canfield. Has he got it right? Perfect by the US team, up and foiling bottom of the line. They're going to be gone on their way to Mark 1.
This is the umpire's penalty. Denmark go behind Sweden.
Just a bit of a boat-on-boat incident there in the middle of the pack. It's not going to affect the leaders at Mark 1. Brazil coming in hot over the top. Could be a good rounding for them. They can get themselves right in the game if they can stick this from here. USA, brilliant start from Canfield. They'll be able to stretch away. They've been so consistent this season in that start box. Brilliant work by the US team.
Here come the Bond's Flying Rouge at mark number 1. It is US SailGP in the lead. Mubadala, Brazil, with Martini Grail at the wheel, finish in 2nd place. And in 3rd, it is Red Bull Italy with Phil Robertson, and Explorer Swiss round out your top 4.
And go aboard.
Well, here we go. We watch this first manoeuvre by the US team. They'll be looking to execute a good one.
I think we go straight here.
I think the thing that caught my eye from this first leg to Mark 1 was last place was Emirates GBR. Look at that left-hand side of our screen. They won the first race. It just shows you how tight it is.
Coming quick. Yeah. Touch your rudders off ones. All good here.
Oh, it looks like a little splashdown on the US there. Don't think it'll be enough for the Brazilians to get close to them, but you've got to be executing all these maneuvers so well here.
Got a quartet right there, right behind the Brazilians. It'll be Red Bull Italy. Phil Robertson decides to turn away and try the other side. Explorer Swiss will go with him, as will North Star Canada and Giles Scott.
Building. Hey there, Andre.
North Star are going to go around the outside. Can they get alongside the Swiss and force them off? They can't. North Star just choose to keep it fast, but it's going to be hard. Disturbed wind from the boat in front of them there. But they'll be looking to get as close to boundary as they can to make the top of the course easy.
Top boundary. Just going to follow them here. High mode here. High mode. 8. Still got nothing here. Okay. Stand by.
Right-hand side of screen, Todd. The Swedish team are off the foils.
Yep.
They were in the pack and they've had a bad manoeuvre there. They've fallen off the foils. Massive rebuild. That's going to put them way towards the back.
Yeah. Okay, pressing down.
Right the Aussies from nowhere. Look at that.
Tom Slingsby and the Bond's Flying Rouge, the overall leaders on the season right now after 5 events, and they have pushed themselves dead even with US SailGP. So it's Tom Slingsby and Taylor Canfield going head-to-head here on leg 3 of 7 in race number 2.
This should be good here for me.
Yeah, dead even in theory, but tactically, it's the Bond Flying Rouge who have the right of way. So the US are going to look to get round the front if they can. They've got a 5-second gap and they're just stretching out. A little bit more breeze there. And look at that top of the wing. Nearly 4 kilometres an hour more boat speed on that US boat.
Not just that, they were sailing a bit of a better angle up the course there, weren't they? So perhaps they're sailing into a little bit better pressure here. Quite a close moment here between the Brazilians and the Australians.
That's going to be a penalty. That was a blatant foul. They had to keep clear. They did not have the right of way. Huge penalty on Mubadala there.
Oh, that's going to cost them a huge amount.
This is the umpire's penalty. Brazil, port tack boat not keeping clear. Go behind Australia.
Yeah, pretty clear one. Not the hardest decision that the umpire booth will have to make all day here. Right-hand side of screen, we see Emirates GBR are moving up through the fleet. They've got to keep clear of the French, though. Tight cross there. I think they're okay.
Working up, going under.
So tight in the middle. Look at this, in the middle of the pack, and it's Red Bull Italy that have really done a nice job working their way through the fleet here.
Yeah. 2.
Phil Robertson, their driver, match race world champion in 2016. He's driven for China, Spain, Canada, and now he finds himself driving for Red Bull Italy with Jimmy Spithill as the CEO.
All the way through. on, bearing away.
Artemis trying to sneak round. They're going to fall off the foils, but they've saved a lot of distance. Can they rebuild and get out foiling in front of that German team? It could be a big gain for the Swedes if they
look
do.
at this.
Oh, it just shows you how much faster you are when you're up on foiling. They just shot straight through the disturbed wind of Artemis. They're clear on that German boat. Big gains.
Emirates GBR trying to work their way up through the field. They currently sit in 10th place, one spot behind Artemis. It is still the U.S. team out in front. Red Bull Italy sits in second, and the Australians trying to bounce back, currently in third.
And turning up.
Look at the Australians. Bonds Flying Ruse, absolute hammer down. Looking like they're going to be up to second here. There does seem to be more wind towards the top of our screen there, where those boats went. So that's a big thing to look out on this upwind leg. How do you get back there to that more wind? Should be good for the Italian team at this bottom gate.
Hit it, Semi. Heading around us.
Look at that turn.
See how that breeze being up just that little bit more really affecting how you'd have to sail the boat as well.
Tight moment for Rotwell. That was close. I think they're just about okay there, but they've really pushed it on the German team.
Oh, shit.
Oh, no! They get high, they lose grip, and they slide up. Brilliant evasive work by Eric Heil there. Kept that German boat clear, but it's opened the door for the French and the British. They're overtaking boats easily there on that bottom mark rounding.
Apologies for a bit of industrial language there on board Rockwell, Denmark, as they had a moment for Nikolai Sehested. Great job, as Stevie pointed out, by Germany Deutsche Bank's driver Eric Kostgaard and Heil to avoid that collision.
My right.
Meanwhile, there's the shot of the entire course. It is the USA out in front, and Giles Scott and North Star Canada, they have somehow found the breeze. They currently sit in second place.
Look at that bottom right-hand corner. So hard to control the height on the boat as you round up. It suddenly got a lot more speed, a lot more lift, flew up, and then they just slid sideways. Just slow coming into that bottom turn, weren't they, Han?
Yeah, they were. And when the boat's not sailing kind of at its optimal speed, it's so much harder to control. So you want to be pushing pretty hard, but an unforced error from the Danish there.
So this is gate number 5. They'll head back down, then back up, and then it'll be the left-hand turn into the finish line. It is the USA right now holding over just about a 120-meter lead over North Star Canada. But here comes Red Bull Italy. Here comes the Bonds Flying Ruse. Stevie, they're going to have to hit this one and get it just right.
Yeah, well, the US team have got a decent lead here, I'd say, but for Canada, Australia and Italy, it's really, really close. And looking at the leaderboard there, left-hand side, GBR all the way up to 6th. Big, oh, that surely was a penalty there. Should be a position switch, I'd say, for that. Looked like the Aussies had to move out the way.
Bearing away. Big coming. Turning.
So making their way down, still the U.S. on top. 15-second lead over the Bonds Flying Ruse, who are moving at a quick pace. Look at the speed. The Bonds Flying Ruse touching 70 kilometers an hour. The Americans slowing down to 54. So will they be able to reel them in as we have more tight crossings out on the Hudson?
Yeah, Artemis had to get that right. Just snuck across in front there. They did not have the right of way. Australia and Canada did switch places there. That penalty was quickly evaporated on the Canada team. But North Star are going to have a potential shot at the Aussies down here. They're going to be coming in with the right of way, and it's really, really tight on the racetrack.
Here we go, coming up on the final gate, then the left-hand turn to the winner's circle, and it is Taylor Canfield and the US SailGP team looking good as they make this final maneuver.
I mean, they've sailed brilliantly, haven't they? Brilliant start in both races by Canfield, and then they've executed nicely around the course.
So under the watchful eye of Lady Liberty, it is US SailGP that claims the win in race number 2 in New York City. And it looks like the Bonds Flying Ruse, Stevie, are going to do just enough to finish in second.
Yeah, I mean, that's a good recovery. They'll have a shot of things going into this final race, and we know how Slingsby loves just a chance. Canada here, they need to get across the line. They've got a penalty.
Ooh. I don't think they're going to get it done, are they?
Well, I think they just need to lose to the Italian boat. So there you go, penalties offer. They drop back to 4th. That'll be costly for the North Star Canada there. Emirates GBR up to 6, big gain.
Yeah, they were way in the back of the pack. So the team that wins race number 1 finishes 6th, one spot behind Brazil, who finished in 5th.
Good recovery.
The points are going to be crazy going into this last race. It's going to be so tight. I think it almost makes it easier because you've just got to sail your own best race as we look ahead for this next one. But the US team, wow, they're in a strong position.
So Artemis currently sitting somewhat consistently, Stevie, a 3rd and a 7th. So it's going to be a big 3rd race for them as DS Team France will come in 8th.
I'm pretty sure it's going to be a big third race for pretty
Everyone,
much everyone out there, to be honest. It's so close. A lot of teams have been fairly up and down the leaderboard.
Sorry.